I'm Joe Chile, mornings on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Weck. Today on Buffalo on the Rise, we're talking to the general manager of Reimer here in Buffalo, Nathan Pataco. How are you doing?
Good, Joe.
Good. Reimer, of course, home services. Get Reimer on the horn. I've got a comment to you guys. You know, it's the greatest thing, the way that you have your trucks done. First off, they're roaming billboards. I mean, and I see them everywhere.
Yeah. The orange is hard to miss.
It is hard to miss. And you know, the other thing is the fact that you don't have to tell me, but either you're doing business all over the place or you send people out and say, drive through this area today because, no, I'm just kidding you. But, you know, it's great to see, and it's comforting to see too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you guys have a great history. As a matter of fact, tell us a little bit about the history of Reimer in Western New York.
Yeah, so Reimer's been serving the Western New York community since 1921. Over the past 100 years, we've been serving the community with for HVAC services. About 10, 15 years ago, we got into plumbing. So we service all plumbing and drains. And about 2 or 3 years ago, we got into electric. And we can service anything in your home when it comes to electric, generators as well. So we provide the whole package with Reimer.
Now, what do you say? You get a lot of people that are calling up, obviously, to make appointments with you guys. But do the emergency calls, you know, drive you crazy? You still have a full head of hair, so I guess it's not, you're not pulling your hair out yet.
We are in the business of emergency services. You know, when COVID happened, we still operated. We were essential employees on the road, and you know, we showed up when the community needed us. So we will run emergency services. We don't charge an extra fee to come out after hours or on the weekends.
You know, I kind of thought of you guys knowing that we were going to have an interview the other day. I live in Niagara County. I live in Lewiston. And a few nights ago, we had a heavy rainstorm. You know, maybe it was longer than that. 4.5 inches of rain. And one of my neighbors, not in the townhouse that I'm living, one of my neighbors came up and he goes, "Did you get any water in your basement?" And I go, "No, I'm pretty good." He goes, "I have 4 inches of water in my basement." And the interesting thing he said, he goes, "I walked down the stairs and I was about to say, hey, the heck with it, I'm just going to go in and see what's going on." He says, "But then I thought, do I have any outlets that might be, or, you know, strips that might be underwater?"
Yeah.
And you're thinking that hopefully, you know, if it was a ground fault type thing or whatever, that would trip the breaker.
Correct,
but if you step into it and it doesn't, you got to call Reimer right away.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. We were out there. We were in Lewiston when all that rain came down, and it's unfortunate when the main sewer and you know, all that rainwater comes down. It taxes a lot of those sewers up in Lewiston, and unfortunately, there was a lot of sewer backups and a lot of flooded basements. Plumbers came out, but we were able to suck up all the water from out of the basements. And it's good to get not only plumbers there, but electricians, like you were saying, and HVAC guys, just to make sure that the water didn't damage your electric panel or any outlets in the basement, as well as your furnace.
What about generators and things like that? You guys handle those too, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen any kind of an influx in that, or is that something that just happens in the winter when people, you know, start saying, "I need a generator"?
Generator calls and services for generators come at all times. You know, especially in the wintertime, people don't like losing power, you know, during Christmas parties. But even when we have heavy rainstorms and, you know, trees fall on power lines, you know, you can lose your power at any time. So generators are something that, you know, it provides peace of mind.
Air conditioning. Do you get calls just for central air, or if people called you, if they've got window units and things like that, they have problems with?
Yeah, people will call us if they have problems with window units. We can provide recommendations for them, but we don't really service the window units. If people are in an extreme circumstance and, you know, their AC unit goes down, and, you know, the only way to provide them with temporary cool is with a window unit, you know, we want to get them cool and comfortable as quickly as possible, but also provide, you know, either replacement or repair options for their existing AC.
Calls that you get, same day service, next day service. Do you have to, you know, book them a week out? What's the story?
No extra charge. And we have, like you were saying, we have a lot of vehicles. We're growing at a pretty good rate. We have a lot of trucks on the road right now, and we are able to provide same day, next day service. Our technicians we train twice a week, soft skills, technical skills. We like to stay ahead of the industry standards.
You know, nobody's going to want to talk about winter already, right? But when do you recommend people should start having their furnaces looked at?
Yeah, I would say probably in the near future. September, I mean, Buffalo, we get snow starting the end of September into October. So it's good to start getting your furnace checked to make sure that, it's going to operate as it should throughout the winter.
What do you think sets Reimer apart from the competition?
Oh, man. I can't speak bad about our competition.
No, that's okay.
But, with Reimer, I love Reimer. We have a great culture, not just with how we show up to customers' homes, providing a 5-star service, but also how we show up to the community. We are involved with the Making Strides events against breast cancer, Ride for Roswell, the Buffalo Zoo, the Buffalo Marathon. Myself and the employees, we love showing up for the moments that matter for the community.
Well, it's good to know. So if somebody's watching right now and they feel that they need service or something just doesn't sound right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Air conditioning comes on, it's banging, whatever the case may be. No call is too little, or no call is, is excused as being ridiculous or whatever.
No, absolutely not. And I would recommend just getting a tech out there just to make sure everything is running up to speed. Gauges are set properly, fan speeds are set properly. It's good to just get it checked out, because if that is a case where your machine is operating improperly, it could fail quicker than you would intentionally want it to be.
It's funny because when I was bike riding the other day, I saw a squirrel laying on top of an air conditioner, the outside unit. Must have been blowing out, tail straight up, looking like he's having a grand old time. You know what I mean? So
Staying cool.
Yeah, that was great. All right, so thank you very much, Nathan Vitaco, who is the general manager of Reimer. Remember, if you need help at your home, call Reimer. Get Reimer on the horn. Reimer Home Services is located at 2575 Broadway in Buffalo. You can call them at 716-217-2217 and connect online at callreimer.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Reimer Home Services. And don't forget to join all your favorite personalities, JP, Roger Christian, Bobby O, Glenn T, and me on Buffalo's oldie station, The Big Wack.